Water Board will come to order. Mr. Phil, if you'll call the roll.
President Pearson,
President,
Member Pennell,
Here.
Member Ferrer.
Here.
Thank you.
first item on the agenda, Mr. Phil, is citizens input. Do we have anyone?
Just the open meeting law, pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of the public meeting or may transmit this meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. During citizens input, we did not receive any external citizens input. We had it on the agenda that they could send an email to water@fallriverma.org before today at 12 o'clock, and as of 12 o'clock today, we did not receive any emails. We did have one request from a citizens to allow them public access, live access to this meeting, which we did email him the link to be able to allow him to view this meeting live through Zoom.
But as of right now, he's not here.
From my understanding, I don't believe he has joined yet, no.
All right, we'll jump to item number 2, minutes of the previous meeting. For any conversation pertaining to this? If not, is there a motion to accept the minutes of the previous meeting?
A motion.
Second.
That motion is unanimous. Item number 3.
Excuse me, sorry, we just need to do roll call on all votes in relation to anything. So President Pearson,
Yes.
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 3, budget and rates. Mr. Berlin.
Yep, so as you know from the previous meeting, we had the budget, the FY21 budgets and rates were proposed to the board. The board did vote on them and they were passed on to the city council, both the rates to be approved for ordinance and also the budget to be approved for the FY21. We did have the first conversation within the council last Tuesday night. I was on a Zoom meeting and presented the budget to the council. We did have a discussion on the FY21 budget as it was proposed, and their recommendation was to send it back to the mayor and ask for a increase of the budget of $100,000. That $100,000 would be added into the budget into stabilization for transfer into stabilization account. The stabilization account is what we have. It's like our savings account. It's if something catastrophic happens, we have that stabilization fund to be able to expend those funds to make repairs or use it. It also shores up our bonding capacity and our borrowing capacity and the overall stability of the financials of the department. So I went back, I redid the FY21 budget. The only change that was made in this budget that's proposed to you and the ordinance as proposed today is the $100,000 was added to a particular line to be transferred to stabilization. What that did to impact the rates, that added 3 cents onto the impact of the rate. So rather than a rate increase of a rate increase of 16 cents, we're now at a rate increase of 19 cents per CCF.
Sorry to interrupt, but Colin's here. Do you want me to allow him in?
Yes, please.
Okay, give me 1 second.
So the rate increase would now be 19 cents per CCF. That would make the new rate $3.43 per CCF. The effect on an average household would be $10.07, and that's for water for an average household. Again, if you have a multifamily, that does increase because there's more people in more households that are using water. If you have a large family, again, I'm sure your water bill would be less, but based on the averages that are done, that's what is expected. So the overall increase of the budget is $247,289.90. That's a 1.8% increase over last year's budget. We were at a 1.4% increase. We're now at a 1.8% increase, and that's with the additional $100,000 into the stabilization fund.
So Paul, my understanding is we now have some of the citizens' input. Is that correct?
Well, we have a citizen that is viewing. He requested to view the meeting live, so he was allowed into the meeting and is viewing the meeting live.
All right, so does he have input? No?
Originally, he didn't request. He only requested to view the meeting.
Okay, thank you. So we need a motion on the budget and the rate.
Yes, please.
Roll call on the budget and the rates, please.
Is there a motion made?
I'll motion.
Second.
Motion passes 2-1.
I'm sorry, the motion is to approve the budget, correct?
Yes, so we'll take this in two separate motions. If the board would like, we can take a motion to approve FY21 budget revised as proposed.
Yes. Motion made, please.
Seconded.
Okay. Roll call vote. President Pearson?
No.
Member Pennell?
Yes.
Member Ferrera?
Yes.
Motion
Also,
passes 2-1.
yep, correct. Also within that, I would also request that a motion be made to approve the rates as proposed in the revised FY21 budget.
I'll
Roll
motion.
call, please.
Second the motion.
Roll call vote. President Pearson?
No.
Member Pennell?
Yes.
Member Ferrera?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Item number 4.
Item number 4 within your packet is what I talked about, what I touched on in other business last week, is an open meeting law violation that was filed. It was filed by Colin Dias. He, in his claim, I've forwarded the board the complaint and also my response. As the clerk of the water board, I administratively respond to any complaints. It is then sent to the board, and I recommend now that the board take it and place it on file.
Is there a motion to take this item and place it on file?
I'll motion.
Second.
Motion to place on file is unanimous.
Roll call vote. President Pearson?
Yes.
Member Pennell?
Yes.
Member Ferrera?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there any other business before the water board today?
So just a couple of things from my end, if you'll indulge me for a second. I do have some other open meeting law violation complaints that have come in. Again, I will be administratively responding to them as the clerk of the water board and also the administrator of community utilities. And then I will be sending the board members copies, and then they'll be ratified and placed on file at one of our next meetings. Another thing I'd also like to put out there is for the public that, again, I'm trying to say this during every meeting, through this whole entire COVID-19 crisis, the drinking water is safe to drink. COVID-19 is not carried through the drinking water or distributed in any way through the drinking water system from all the research that has been done on it. I would like to thank all of our staff, our water department staff that have been in, water treatment operators. They haven't had to have a day off. Our watchman attendants, 24/7, 365, they haven't had to have a day off. All of our maintenance staff down at the treatment plant, they haven't had to have a day off. They've been in straight through. Maintenance staff that takes care of our distribution system, they've been working for a while there. We had them being dispatched from their homes. They're currently fully back working on the essential projects that are needed to continue to supply water to the residents of our city. Also on that note, our sewer division, same thing. That staff has been working straight through this whole entire pandemic. DCM with their sanitation division and other essential areas have been working straight through. So I'd really like to thank those employees for their commitment. I know it's very tough for them to leave their families during this time to have to go into work, but I'd like to thank them. So,
On behalf of the board, I think the entire board would like to echo your comments. Please pass that along to all your personnel.
Yes, please.
definitely, thank you.
Under other business, Paul, if you don't mind,
Yes,
I see a collection of pipe on the side of Wilson Road, and it looks like they're working on Highland Avenue or Roberson. What do we know about that?
so the work that's ongoing on Highland Avenue, that's the gas company Liberty Utilities. They're replacing the mains on Highland Avenue. I'm not sure about Wilson Road. I haven't seen that. I get weekly emails as well as DCM and stuff like that. They just include me because I'm a utility that's working in the street of their ongoing areas that they're working in, and I know Highland Ave is one of those areas. I haven't seen anything on Wilson Road come up, but they may be heading up that way with their main replacement. They're under a large main replacement project that will encompass pretty much most of the city. So,
Paul, when the gas company does this work, do they never go curb to curb, or they just patch what they dig up?
so that's something that engineering and DCM works with the Liberty Utilities on. They've worked in cognizant with the engineering department as well as with us. So when there is a street where they come in, they do the gas main, we come in, we do the water main, and then the sidewalks and everything are bad. We've actually had a program set up here in the past, working with engineering and Liberty Utilities, where the water department, we pay a third of a repaving cost. Liberty Utility pays a third of the cost, and DCM pays a third of the cost for the roadway. And then DCM does all the sidewalks that need to be redone. That's worked very well for those projects. On areas where the street's in good condition with Liberty Utilities, from what I've seen, they've been required to do a mill and overlay patch, and they're continuing to do that. We're also having discussions right now with DCM and Liberty Utilities about trying to get even a little bit more milling out of us and out of them to make, the one thing that we really want is we want Liberty Utilities. They've been doing a good job patching. We've been doing a good job patching. We just really want to make sure that those two patches meet and that they come together.
It's just that it seems like there's an awful lot of 6-inch strips in our streets, and I know everyone's complaining about the condition of our streets, and the budget is a part of that, as we all well know. However, it doesn't make it any easier for drivers in our city to see our streets ripped up all the time, but I can.
Yeah, correct. So, right. So, I think what you're referring to is some of the temporary patches that Liberty Utilities is doing. They've had 2nd Street, Stafford Road. They've had them in those areas for the past year. I know 2nd Street, they just milled and overlaid that. I believe it was last week. So now where there was just a small 1-foot strip where they relayed their main, now they came back, they milled that, and it's a nice final product now. One of the problems, and we find this all the time with our water work that we're doing throughout the city, is We really like to leave the temporary patches in for a freeze-thaw cycle. So through a winter where we allow that ground to be able to move with the water, freeze up, thaw, that definitely helps any settling. Our contractors have been doing a great job of compaction. The settling has been absolutely minimal. But it's still really nice to have that really good freeze-thaw cycle to make sure that nothing's going to move. Then you come in, you mill and you overlay, or you do your final patch.
Thank you for that. I bring it up just to the edification of the general public. I think
Yes.
I usually know those things, and I witness them daily, especially Robertson Street. Right now, it's kind of horrendous because of all the fire apparatus and ambulances coming back and forth. But we'll see what happens over the winter, I guess.
Yes.
Is there anybody else who has anything under other business? Hearing none, is there a
I'll motion.
Second.
motion passes unanimously? This meeting is concluded.
Can we just get a roll call vote on adjournment? President Pearson,
Yes,
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer.
Yes.
this meeting of the Watuppa Water Board is adjourned.
Thank you very much.
All right, everybody.